Here we go. Again, guys, thanks for joining, coming in. And this is our first spring class. Happy to see you all arriving. And we'll have a couple people running late on us, but most of you folks are here. We got some interesting paintings coming up this spring. This being one. This is just a simple, landscape. So I threw out a lion, but somebody said they'd rather paint a landscape. So I said, okay, I'll give you guys a landscape. Next week, we'll be probably going to be painting a little bit of horses and a farm setting. And then a week after that, we'll be doing probably me. Ooh, yes. I'm going to hold off on that one. That's a good one to beat you guys up with. That'll be the third one. So yeah, you guys can take some pain. Okay. This one. Today we're going to the mountains there. Interesting little creek scene, winter creek scene. The creek's going through the snow there, winding its way in there. We got some nice little color in there. We got even some red color in it in the back. We got a nice fallen tree. There were two trees in this thing, and I thought it was just overkill. And sometimes your eye just doesn't know where to look. So I decided to just take one out and just make it to one big tree, and then we'll be good. So let me pull it up and we'll talk about it. Here we go. Here, gonna mute you guys. Have to mute. One second, I gotta figure that out. Got everything going in there. Anyway, yeah, talk to me. You just unmute yourself and say, "Hey, what the hell are you talking about?" This one. This is really nice. I'd love when I saw this a few weeks ago. I said, "Yes, I love this. I like the design. I think we could handle this in class." I love the triangle coming in from the side, that big strong one. Another pie coming in there. Basically, if you have, if you want pie, this is a good one to have. Tree doesn't bother me. Just that limb going through there does not bother me. But everything kind of leads back into this one, spot over here. And then it jogs back a little bit farther into the farther on down. Love the colors. I love these oranges in here, and I love these cool yellows against this really strong red brown water. Then you got, of course, then you have this real nice log falling across it. It has its twigs coming out, branches still hanging on it a little bit. It's half wet, which is neat. And that big dry part, it's going to add a lot to it. And then you can also got, the reflections in the water, right? Got a lot of nice reflections going on here and a little bit there. You got rocks. You got a little bit of everything in this, in the scene. So we got, we're going to have a lot of little things to play with and learn about, but nothing more than what we've already been going through. It's just a lot of little, maybe change of brushwork here and there. I think, when we're doing water, comparing to water, doing water to doing snow, it's quite different, but yet there's always similarities in painting. So let me see one thing here. Okay, the black and white version. Okay, color, when we get talk about color, values on this thing. Yeah, the snow. If it wasn't for the snow, this if it wasn't for the snow here, you know, coming in like this to the sides, everything on all the grays and stuff would be probably around fives and sevens and eights, maybe farther down on that one. But as you can see, if you squint at it, I mean, gray wise, yeah, it's really pretty tight. It wasn't for the white separating out the grays, which pretty much, would be blah. But there was some nice color. Some of those reds and yellows, as you can see, are not too far from each other. Even though that red looked a lot darker than that yellow, really that yellow is pretty dark. I was talking about back in here, going back in there and see, it could be, could be 4, but it could be 5. So, and let's see. Yeah, everything that's on there, you can see how the snow came down, pretty much came straight down. Okay, you got a couple birch trees in the back. Always interesting to do birch trees. They're just scratches usually. Yeah, there's not a whole bunch more to talk about. I think grays, as you can see, are very, very monotone. They could be, if you didn't, this whole top area would be pretty much, if it was done in grays, you probably wouldn't be able to separate them out, except for the birch trees scratched in there a little bit. My dog's a Greek, if you guys can hear him. All right. Any questions on the color version? Well, some nice things. You get all the way back in here, you get a lot of little teeny things. Even on the composition, like I said, it's kind of a pie composition, just kind of like everything kind of feeds back into that one little spot there. Nice rock, and then there's, a nice rock here, and then you got the thing here coming down there, separated by a little bit of water, and then it goes back here a little bit farther. Details and stuff, we're going to be trying to keep the details to a minimum. Just go for the big block in, go for the big shapes, big simple shapes, then go to a little bit your smaller shapes, and then by the time you get to the snow and stuff, you should have everything right there, and putting in the snow should really kind of finish this thing off pretty quickly. We should be, there shouldn't be anything to do but a little sticks and little scratches. Hopefully. That's what my plan is, to start dark and work light, and then scratches. Okay. All right. Any questions? Nothing from Lisa P. That's it. No Mike. No. Oh man, you guys, come on.
Nothing from Lisa P.
Nothing from the P. Okay. All right. Well, we're heading out here. We are heading to the pallet, and we will talk there. I'm sorry, I did not even clean my brushes. I was painting today and did not clean my brushes out, but I didn't use them all. I only used a few. Got some synthetics, got some bristles. Bristles will be come in handy on this one. So you might have to use all your bristles, even a big one would be nice. Colors, as always, are pretty much the same. We're going to go with titanium white, cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. I got some light ochre here, pale ochre. Just because of that's the ochre I could find. But except for right next to it is some gold ochre, which I had on the palette for something else. Came in handy doing a line, I must say. Over here I have oxide red light. Got alizarin crimson today on my palette. But if you are Rembrandt, you could have Rose Madder Deep. This is cobalt blue hue. Not to be thought of that cobalt blue green that some people get. And then we got the phthalo green. And here we have, this is transparent oxide red. I've been trying to, separate out the oxide reds and the thing. So I was just going to start calling this burnt sienna for you guys. I do have some cad red medium up here and some, also some, what's that, carmine red up here. A lot like a, interesting alizarin type color. But again, some bristle brushes for doing some of the cut work at the end, mostly, but my big brush is here to do the work at the beginning. And then my bristle brushes, we're going to do a lot of the background, a lot of anything you see back in here. It's pretty much going to be bristle brush. You need that scratchy effect, so I don't, don't have too many cut marks. Also, blurs it out for you too. Get this off here. Wipe this down one more time. Okay. We are set. All right. For our first color of the new semester, spring semester, I say we go with what got us here, what brought us here. What brought us here was phthalo green and red. And I will be using, I'm going to start off with alizarin. Definitely on a alizarin side and a phthalo green side. So I do two colors again. So that is my green side. This one I'll make my red side. There we go. That should be nice. Okay. That'll be good in the water here. It's not gonna in the for rocks and shadow type things. It's a really nice color for that. I will keep going with again phthalo green and oxide red light. Of course, that you guys knew that one was coming. This should get really close to the watercolor. That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking it's going to get pretty close to it, but I could be wrong. It could go a little redder. So it might not be this color. It might be cad red. So we're going to have to do a cad red next. Phthalo green and cad red after this. This could go down close because it's kind of a darker color. I could get it down in here or back in here. It's all over here. So it's, it's not, not a big deal to mix up a couple extra colors. So one on the red side, one on the green side, cad red. I was looking for the water color. And yeah. And it's just a little bit lighter and richer than that red. It's more like this red. Well, yeah, this one hits it really good on the monitor. So I will leave one over. Oops, wrong ones. That was a lot of cad red. This is a little bit less. But it's a little bit warmer still than this. It has a little more yellow in it. Yeah. That should color there with just a touch of white in it. Should be the good topping colors. All right. So basically we got some good things taken care of. What I might do right now, I'm just going to do one more cad red. Just gonna put a little cad red out, put a little bit of the mix of it next to it, a little bit mix of it's cad red and phthalo green mix here. Keep it really, really red. I was thinking about this stuff back in here. So this is a little bit more red than thing. Maybe put a little bit of orange in there too. I am putting a little cad orange, a little into, yeah, there you go. That'll be all right. All right. Just thinking as I go, it's also going to be in a few other spots. There's a lot of, so, having good separation between all these red browns is good to have. Okay. Gonna need a few other colors. Need some shadow colors. We need some other things. So we're gonna go with blue. We're gonna come down here and just do blue and oxide red light. One on the oxide side. So you can see it, it's nice red brown. You didn't see it quite as much in there. And then on the blue. What I'm thinking this is going to be, though, is when I tone it all the way down with some white, I think I'm going to get a lot of the snow colors out of that. And it's going to be a lot of, I think, the tree colors. So basically all I need is some yellow ochre-ish thing here, some greens. So I'm going to go yellow ochre. And need it grayed down to that. I'll put just a little bit of blue into it. Don't really want it to turn green. I got a little red into it too from this, which is probably would be good to do is have three colors. Really, blue is going to turn it green. I'm just trying to gray it out. So really, to gray out a yellow, you should be a purple. That's why I was going. Maybe this red, but maybe this purple up here. We'll gray it out without turning it green. Well, we're going to save it right there for the dark shadow part, and I'll bring back some yellow into it. Again, just trying to gray it out. I'm using my color next to it to gray it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, a lot of color. All right, before I get to my whites and things. All right, well, let's see if there's anything else. There's some greens up there. I'm just going to go with, see what phthalo green and this ochre does. Takes it to a cool green, so I need some yellow. I'm going to take some yellow, but I need red too, so I'm going to take orange. Phthalo green and some orange. That's pretty close. A little dark. You might add to the second part of it with its more orangey. Because you're going to get that in a few spots. this color probably knocked down would be perfect for that area. We'll find out on the next part. All right. I think that's pretty much all the colors we're going to need for this one. So if we split these piles in about half, and then add white to them, like we said, it's a very medium, like you can colors. So the water is the darkest thing, yeah, and that is probably about an 8. But most of the stuff back in here is around 5s and maybe 6s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. So some of these colors are going to get a lot more white. And then some of these colors, we'll see what happens to what comes out of them. And then we'll see where we can fit them, where they fit. See what we have to do to make them behave in the painting. Okay, so just a little bit of white. Let's say, yeah. Yeah, let's start at 8s or 7s. We could go down to 6s too, because why don't we go to a 6? Yeah, well, we're gonna go to a 6. The browns, maybe would keep those a little bit darker. We're gonna take it easy on those guys because we add white to them, because one of them is gonna pop out and probably be the base color for most of the, for the water. So we're going to take a little easier when we add white to the browns. And these purples, I was hoping, I'm going to really get them into these trees. I want to push them into the trees a little bit. And I think I can use some of these grays here to also help me with the trees. And the reds. All right, now that was a red I was going to try not to kind of jumped it a little bit. That was supposed to get in here. And just a little cool. Let me see this again. This is nice for the darks, but I think one of these guys might work better. I'm just going to add just a touch of white to these browns, not too much. And the too much gets there really quickly. But that's pretty good. That could work. I can get in there too. That'd be nice. Okay, let's see what the red orange does. There we go. I'm gonna give it just one more half step there, so it doesn't jump too far for me. I can keep it back there easily instead of keep adding colors to it. Okay, now these blue grays. I'm going to keep these kind of dark too, because I think I can get them in the water and into some shadows and into the trees. So I'm going to do this as 8s. These is blue and oxide red. I'm going to do these two colors as 8s, and then bring them down to about, like you said, probably sixes, or maybe I could go fives. Let's go five. Value of five. I think I can get that. This is going to be all, hopefully, all over in this snow. Looks a little cool. So I've got the tree colored. I knew that was going to be the tree color. And got a lot of little areas this color is going to go. Great. Now we got the yellows back there. I was thinking just enough white to knock it out. Just a little bit on the green side. So here's the yellow side of it. A little bit of color there. Just a hair too much. See a little purple from here. Just gray it out. There you go. Took it out of there. Knocked it back. There you go. I can work on them all the way up on, I think that wall. There might be a canyon wall there or something back in here. So these colors right here should probably able to do a good job on that. But we got some greens here. Get the oranges in place. I think I get the oranges can work in there too, but they got to be pretty low, pretty white. That's a start. That's getting close already. I'm gonna add some more. And then, you know, sometimes you can find that, yeah, I can use that. So just take a small piece, just like we've done, just keep going and lighten that up. And that's getting close, but it's just a little bit too much color again. So if I grab over here and grab some of that purple and put it in this yellow, again, it will just take the color out of it. These two married together should make a nice gray tone. And I can put back in there. It looks purple here, but you put it here, it doesn't. So I'm going to leave these two together. All right. All we have to do now is some snow. I'm going to add this green up here too, just a hair of white. Sometimes you just gray it out again. But just when I put it back, you put it back here, it doesn't just jump forward visually. Too much richness. Okay, snow wise, I'm going to go up here and grab these phthalo green and alizarin. That's on the phthalo side. This is on the alizarin side. The snow, like I said, is up to about a 3. So that's a lot of white going into these colors. That's in there. That's really pretty good, in fact. That gives me the base tone. This purple in that value should be really good too. What I do need is just on the blue side. So I'm going to take these are my snow colors, and make up a third couple olive ones. Yes, that is all over here. Okay. I just need a couple little other enhancements. I need this a little bluer for shadows, little shadows in here. And so I'm just going to add split that pile, add some blue to it. That should darken it up and cool it off. And so I can get that in here. pretty good. That'll work. Same with the purple. Same with this purple. I'm going to take it over here, take it down here, piece of it for that snow. And add just a touch of blue to it. It should give me a different purple. Usually alizarin and blue are my go-to snow colors. So this should be a nice, there you go, little periwinkle type color, except for it's grayed out because we've got a little bit of green in it, which is good. We can use it all the way down in there and then move it to the purple. Really, only thing I need is probably well, there's really no real warm colors in here, but I'm going to go with just for myself, white and some cad red, high key pink for some of this stuff in the back as you trail off. This is just too much cad in here. I'm going to take a piece of it. Let's move this over here, save it over there, and then bring in a bunch more white, lighten this up again. Might just put a little bit of blue in it too, just to take off that edge of the color. See, it's just a little rich. Let's take a little bit purple and gray this color out just a hair more. And it starts to behave a little bit better. That might be warm too. Is that too warm? Yeah. Let's find out. I'm going to go with the alizarin then. No? Yeah, I got to go with the alizarin. Just a hair of alizarin and white. Try the same thing. Pretty much do the same thing. See if alizarin feels better back there. It might. Again, it might feel a little too pure for back there. Boy, that's cool. White, not doing much to this color. There you go. Now when you get it to the right value, it behaves. I just put out so much alizarin. But also, it's going to mess up too. Oh, got a little bit of everything going on. I don't know where all those Quebec reds coming from. Anyway, let's go through the colors. It's pretty good. This should do it. And if we need any yellow whites, I'll probably end up taking them from these piles here and just adding white to them. Any of these ochres and stuff would be good with some yellow in them. You might need it down here at the bottom. You might need it down in here, but it doesn't really, it's a little overcast. Well, it's past the light. The light is past it. So anyway, we start off with phthalo greens and alizarins. We took these guys down to about 7 or 6. That's really 7 at least. And then we took them down, brought them over here, and we really took them down, took them up to about 3s. And that's going to be all the snow. Lots going to be able to dig into these guys and pretty much make the snow. But that's at the end. We got phthalo green and transparent or oxide red light. Green side, red side. I didn't take these guys down. Okay, I probably won't need them. I was thinking more in the water and some of the other areas of tree areas back in here too. we have phthalo green and cad red, really pushing it on the red side, as you can tell. And then I did one more where I pushed it even more on the red side and trying to get these trees back in here and a few spots here, just really get it rich, but not too bad. This is going to come in fun. That should stand out. That's going to be like probably a marquee color that really pops in the painting. Blue and oxide red light. On the blue side, not really, it's still got a lot of red in it. And on the red side, coming down, you can see the grayness. This will be in there. This is going to be all over the snow. We got a lot of the trees. These two colors are going to be in the trees. Then we did ochre and a little bit of what I used. I used blue. I tried blue, and it was okay, but it was a little rich. I grabbed a little purple from one of these piles, put it in there, and it grayed it out nicely. Same here. I did it again. This is the ochre side, and I did grab some of that to lighten it up, to darken, gray it out. We did phthalo green and cad orange. A lot of cad orange. Then we whitened them out and whitened out, and then mixed them up with some more purples from over here, to gray it out and become some of the rocks up here behind here. I didn't really pay attention to those guys too much. And then we took our phthalo greens and alizarans, brought them over here, whited the heck out of them, got them up to about 3s. And then I got them the right values for the shadows and some of the whites. And then I took a piece of it and put blue into it. So you start to get the shadow areas coming in here, be nice. And then I did the same thing with the purple side because I figured I wasn't going to need it over here. But then I just feel kind of drifting into kind of a coolness, but thing. So I just made up a couple purple, white, pinks that go back into here. These, especially these birch trees, could definitely go in there in that color. Anyway, a lot of these colors are going to be interchangeable and changing around pretty quickly anyway. So, any questions? All right, you've been warned. We are moving on to the big paint job. It's underneath here. Okay, and get everything going. Okay. I don't know. I kind of like it muted. I can keep you guys muted. It's kind of nice, I just, you guys don't have anything to say. I'm gonna I'll mute you all the time. That's it. Okay, there we go. I got a little bit. I can slide it over just to hear more. Get it more centered for you. There we go. Also gives me a foot to get in here. All right. This is kind of an interesting color. I'm not sure what color to go with. I think since I have transparent out, I'm going to use it. Since I haven't used it for anything else, I'm going to kind of like a burnt sienna. Let's do a burnt sienna wash with this. Let me clean my brush. So that should be fun. It's warm, but it'll probably gray out a little bit more of the grays. And it might add a little bit more richness to to the water, right? So just going to tone the canvas with that and take advantage of the color while I can here. There you go. There's the painting right there. All right. See how that comes from all the way from the top, just past the corner of the painting, all the way down into here, then comes back into here. I'm going to take it easy in the white areas too with the toning, because any place that's going to be probably your problems. You know, this might help have some fun trees, probably help to bring some life color wise underneath to some of this cliff area here, or the canyon area. All right. So I drew it in while a little bit while I was sorry. Just a few change of directions while I'm cleaning it off too, so to see if I can help it a little bit. There we go. Now I'm just gonna just go back and again just draw it in a little bit where you can see it. Mostly water wise, where I want to end up being. You know, I want to be probably right around over here. Where I want to end up. We want to be too close to this edge. I mean, I want to be close to it, but you know, it's one of those little teeny things like, am I too close? But it's oils, we can change it. So it's not a big deal. Let's shrink this guy down a little bit. All right, bottom of the painting. Oh, this is just, sorry, not really painting yet. This is still drawing it on. This color just happens to be really close to what we need. Little bites. Rock. Yeah, that tree might be, this tree is gonna might have to shrink, shove everything in a little bit. Get that tree in here. So instead of being the outside line, it'll be the inside line. I usually don't like trees crossing too much. You always, make an X, which is, usually X marks the spot. Usually not a good good thing to do, but we're going to keep them both. So value wise, I think we'll be okay. Okay, Cliff's back in here. Just toning it. Basically, I'm almost doing an underpainting with this oxide, transparent oxide, or burnt sienna, as I'm supposed to call it from now on. For you guys, for we, because yeah, we had a workshop and everybody was getting mixed up because you got transparent oxide and then you got oxide red light, and so it's like so. If it didn't make this kind of color, really rich color, I probably would have been just gone back to burnt sienna, but not yet. All right, drawing wise. Now, the big rock right here, little rock right there. And it's back in here. Going back to that little spot. And here we go. Yes, there's a tree that goes across right here too. I don't want it too low. If I did put it in again, I'd probably put it in just a little bit higher. Maybe, right here a little bit, than being it's just so low in the painting. So maybe bring it up just a hair more. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Not really worried about it. I'm going to pull it out, paint right over it pretty much right now anyway. Okay. Brush it out a little bit. Okay. First color. We're starting up already. First color. Oh, we're going to be painting. Well, that's really the first color. Second color. Phthalo green and alizarin. No white. Okay. Definitely, I see a little bit of, not full strength pretty much. So I'm just going to do a light stroke of it underneath and into this water area right in the middle of this thing, right around the rocks are. Feel there's some there, and then maybe up close here in the shadows of the snow and the snowball here in the water here. Just a little bit of green, maybe dark enough that you can't see it. It's not a ton. Otherwise, you do have some green trees and going to be popping up here at the end. I'm not too worried about the phthalo. if I put it in that lightly, like should be able to overpower it pretty easily. Not much on that one. Next color is on the red side of it, purple. I saw that a lot more at the bottom of this thing. I'm going to put it in a little strong, but I'm going to also wipe it out a little bit too. I think it's, right by the edge of the thing. It just, I can see the redness. There's a few areas in here underneath and some shadows that are coming through. And then I'm going to look a little deeper and start to see some transparencies, rocks, things like that in this water right in here. And right about there. I'm just going to pull this in for a little bit of a this tree here, just very bland when I just kind of threw it in. It didn't have any twists in it at all. So I'm going to take it back here. I'm just going to do the edges of the water here a little bit, even into this green. Again, maybe it's more a little bit more purple on the outsides here. Get a little bit of everything, get the whole shore. That way, when you do come back and make a decision on where things have to be pushed, you got some room to play. You're not stuck with your color, right where it is. Okay, goes all the way back there. It does some other things. So, okay, a lot of color for pretty grayed out painting, but sure, a couple good, nice, clean spots. Well, I'm going to take this high. Okay. Shadows, if you wanted to put in some purple shadows on the trees here. Up to you. Just now, I'm just kind of gray out a few spots here. That should work. Even for some of these under areas here that the snow again. Just a little purple and the red, because I already have that. I kind of marked them out with that underpainting. So this going into that red orange isn't too bad, again, especially on the tree side. If you don't have it, just add a little burnt sienna to your color. Grab a little burnt sienna. Should do it. There's another tree that's going to go in later. Not too worried about the trees right now. Just marking it for you guys. Just for you to sort of see it. don't mind this color. I'm going to put it a little bit more in. I'm going to thin it out again. Make sure I got a little bit of that. Only I'm going to put a little burnt sienna in that, like, into it, and go back into this canyon area back in here a little bit. I want to keep the painting thin back in here. So using thin paint like this, it's almost like watercolor. And then I'll come back and just pull out the interesting things with just a little bit more paint. Doesn't have to be heavy paint. But also it just starts to block in a few things here really quickly and make the painting feel like something right away. All right. Need some oil. All right, I'm going to paint on the water next. We got all these browns set up here. And we got to put in our purples. So using the very darkest colors, again, no white in them yet. We'll probably shoot down and start using some white to get this area in, but let's get it in with no white first. So this is the green, oxide red and phthalo green. This is on the green side. It probably looks like it's going to go farther back here where it starts to kind of like back in here in the back of the water back here where it starts to lose color. It becomes kind of you can't really tell what color it is. Like up front here, you can definitely see the oranges popping out, the reds and the oranges. So here's the red side. Let's see. I was hoping right in here. Almost touched too dark, but that's okay. We want to layer these colors anyway. So we want to get this color in here. I'm not going to pay attention to the little scrub bush that's coming down in there too. Let's not pay attention to that. So we can paint that whole area just a little bit darker than it's going to end up being, but it'd be nice. Might even think about putting in the, coming in here, start putting in the shadow for it. Pretty simple, strength of it, and then just thin it out a little bit on the sides here. Now this is really kind of touchy too, because I want to leave a lot of the stuff in here a little bit, try to find a few of the rocks at the end, maybe just draw some interest. There are a lot of different oranges in this little area right here. There are yellow ones, there are really kind of more red ones, and there are some greenish ones, shadows. So in this water. So if we come over here, cad orange, this is cad red and phthalo green, but this is on the orange or green side. Right in here. At the bottom, right in about here, coming over, right in here, coming on over. I could see the green showing through on that red, and right by this little snow patch, which I'll pull out. And then just on the edge of this thing, right in here is really all white here, and pull it out. right in here, that triangle. Little white. Just a little bit. Okay, so I was putting the brown brush. Uh, well, it's the green brown going around the edges of that highlight in here. You can see it a few spots, and then see where it does back in here. I don't know. I see it too much back there. Not doing much anyway. All right. I'm going to go over to the red side now. This one should do a lot about getting in here. I know this rock right here is really red, or this area here, a little more red than that even. So feels good there. That could go a little spot. Okay. So what should happen is, since these guys are so close in value and everything, I should be able to paint whatever I want, and it should stay, behave itself nicely and stay in the right spots. This color, I was thinking, was going to do a lot of work right in here. Yeah. So when I cut it in, I want to cut it, just think about it, leaving room for the shadow. And I want strokes. I don't want to put everything right next to each other. I want some little bit of darkness in between my strokes here. So they don't, make them stand out as strokes and interesting watermarks. So if you get in here and just blend it all out, just you kind of lose that little touch of interest. So leave a little bit of play in there. Be at least a couple, just like a couple brush strokes short of what you really need there, because we still got another color put in there, and got to leave a little bit of room for it. So this is that red brown. I'm going to go through here and the rest of the painting now and see where this guy goes. There are a few little areas up here on the hill. It might go better. There's red trees also. I'm going to just get where they connect with the hill, get the just a little bit of shadow going on up. I put the red back in, it'll be fine. See, and just a little bit in the tree trunk, little bits. Definitely just on the outside of this one. This one might get a little bit more. What I want to do on these trunks to also kind of get away from that X thing that's happening here, is really, moving the shadows around a little bit. So, uh, there's more interest in the tree uh, one side being dark, one side being light, that they're, you know, there's spotlights on it a little bit. That will help take that away. I'm not going to give this other one. This back tree definitely doesn't get much love at all. Okay. Here's the richer red. Before we go to anything else, the richer red. Definitely want to try and get it into this area here, the base, the tree here. Probably should have got the dark. I should have been that dark. I should have got the dark underneath it a little bit better. That's all right. Come back and do it again. Use that red too. So this is just more cad red into that cad red and orange mix. There's what I was looking for. Red I was talking about. Okay. You're going to find that just drifting around in this little area a little bit. Just look for little spots, I saw it pretty good in part of the reflection. It really helps separate out this tree. It's usually really the top edge of the tree, which is in the water, becomes the bottom edge. So that worked real pretty good there. I'll look for it again. I set a few spots in this back area, but it's getting full. It's pretty much full, because I still have like little ripples and things to put in here. So these colors here just got to be almost accent colors, little spots. Okay. And I might do anything to the tree that just going to give me a little bit more medium dark in these trees back in here when I do get to them. Going to get to them real quick here since we're pretty much out of our, non-white colors. Yeah. So let's just go to that. This is just the same color. This is a cad red light with just a little bit of green in it, a lot of red into it. This is the one where you put extra red into it. Boy, it just looks more like it down there, but doesn't look right on my machine. So I'm going to put it in as if it was right, and then I'll come back in and brighten it up later. It's really like just adding a few more spots of cad red orange probably then. Okay. See, I got some orange on here. I'm also keep going with some of these grayed out colors. This is with a little bit more green in it. I was thinking this is pretty much more of a highlight for the tree. So I'm just gonna put it in here and then I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna zoom around, I think, and gray this out a little bit more, and then I'll come back and put the more color into it again. I think it's just a little too rich. You have to shadow that grayed out colors, which is basically the green ones, the next ones I've got coming up in here. Yeah, definitely. This is just the green version of that, just adding a little more green to the oxide or cad red here. Comes in and really in a nice color spots here. Look where else you can put it. Just a little bit of white into it. That's all these colors are. I can sort of just see a little sprinkling of it, right over in here. Maybe a couple rock tops or something. So I'm moving the color around. This color can go a lot of places. If you want it, there's some rocks and stuff over here. You can get that too. Some of these rocks in here we're just going to have to take care of on their own a little bit. Can't give them a little bit more love than I'm giving them right now. But let's get rid of this, get this color done with. Again, this is just cad red phthalo green with a little bit of white in it on the green side. So I'm thinking this might end up being the creases, these walls back in here. I think I'm going to switch to a bristle brush because some of the work I'm going to do next is going to be pretty much all in the back there. It's well drawn out, it's figured out, but just needs to be softer, put in softly. And this stuff feels a little haphazard sometimes when you put the highlights in. If you put the highlights in the right directions, very pretty much horizontal, that's going to calm all the goofy strokes in here down a little bit. Usually brings them out a little bit too. Again, cad red and phthalo green with white. And I was seeing that right down in here, that warmth. Right before, it's going to go lighter, but going into this canyon wall here. And then the tree here too is going to mess up. That'd be good. Can mess up a little bit because I got a tree here. My greens. Oh. All right. I am just gonna jump down and grab some yellow, yellow and it's just well, this is ochre with a touch of green in it, then a little bit of gray in it, and things like that. I was thinking about putting them in here, see if I can. Yeah, see, too light, way too light. Okay, let's go in with them a little darker. Might have to gray them out. Closer. Yeah. Add just a little bit of orange to it. Yeah, it's better. And what I'm trying to do is, look at these negative areas here where these trees go in, just see how to stroke them in a few different ways instead of put them in one stroke. Sometimes these guys, you need to kind of make them feel like you worked on them for a little bit, so you have to do like 3 or 4 strokes. I'm gonna lighten it up at the top here a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna just keep going with these colors. I'm gonna basically go over and do the little more of phthalo green and oranges.
Hey, Jim,
Yes.
where's the vanishing point of the creek in light of where you're painting?
It's right about here.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing.
So I just haven't hit the white yet into it.
Yep.
Right about there. So just he's already to the vanishing point on the creek. There you go. This is the orange. I'm gonna add the white section. I'm just gonna go to the gray out one where I added purple to it at the bottom. Okay. That is too bright. Okay, so that means I got to go back up top, add purple to my orange and green mix. Just give me a grayed out version. So that's purple. More orange. There we go. Okay. Since we're here and stuff too, I'm going to be going in working on these trees again and putting them in the right space. Right now they're, the red orange is coming through them a lot more than it was supposed to. You need to be, well, we haven't used these colors yet. This is blue and oxide red. And this is on the red side. Yeah, definitely a dark red. This is kind of a dark. Like I said, I was going to do final areas that you can just kind of make all the same and don't have try to keep it interesting. So it's on the red side, so it's a kind of just a little bit of white too. Then my next colors are going to be the same colors, probably on the a little bit more white. Well, here's some blue. I didn't use the blue side that much. Blue side was going to look into the water here too, right by these rocks here. We'll just put in a couple little some cool red, cool sky color, almost purples in it right by there. Might even find it right underneath here too. Goes really good with that orange. So you might find a hole underneath all this snow here, this melted up kind of mooey, gooey snow. Okay. Now I'm going to go to light versions of these guys, which are probably like 4s. I'm going to go with the blue side first. I'm going to do just a little bit. Oh, too much. Too bright. In between. I'll make this back one a little bit more, definitely a little bit more blue. And this one up here. This one's going to have a little more pink into it. Should help it come forward. So it's going to be going to the red side of it. And again, I'm just not going to take it quite as to 3, probably leave it at a 4. Value wise, it doesn't need to be that bright. Well, might end up being a little neat in a few spots. But not many. I'll also take a little bit of this color. Start my tree my water tree here. Make sure that tree does not go straight. It goes ins and outs. Some fun to it. Get rid of the white here a little bit. So I can get a nice mix of colors when I put the highlight over that color. Okay. I was looking at it. Is that too bright? I think it should be on the blue side of that. Let me try this. This is blue and oxide red light with on the blue side mix. I'm going to keep it down just a little darker than I have. I think it's just a hair. Well, some places are and some places aren't. Yeah. I'm just going to come in here and nibble on the colors a little bit. kind of feel the color I have down there, the kind of transparent warmth is about right for highlights in this water. So I'm using cad red light and basically the richest color I have with a lot of white in it now. Thinking that color too, just a little bit of, I'm going to put in the tree real quick. So I'm going to clean, going to grab just a little bit of oil on my brush before I grab my paint. I'm just going to run this up, get the base, thing it going in there on that guy. Just a little greener. Just touching it. I can have more fun with that yet. Okay, I'm not going to leave that alone, and we're going to dive into now the snow a little bit and start to get the purples and the blues in there. So we're going to go back to our phthalo green and alizarin mixes with white in them. These midtones, these are the midtones. These are probably around 5s and 6. I'm going to start off with the purple side of it. And with a bristle brush, lay on some of these where I think the shadow of the mountain is going to be up to. Just going to be working on some lots of little strokes in here. Right about there it stops. So I'm just not gonna get over here too much more. I'm gonna work this area down in here a little bit more. That is phthalo and alizarin again. Basically on the alizarin side for these guys. Okay, I'm going to switch over and just go to a little bit more green. The greens, yeah. Get a little bit of that in here too underneath now. See where that goes. You can see there's some really nice little crevices that the green shows through. Or it's not really, I'm really not real strong, but it's still got a white that's going to go over it. And then I still got to come back and we'll end up doing these rocks at the end. Yeah. Or too much for that, but okay. Definitely on this other side of the hill over here. Change the design here because I kind of got a little, you come in a little bit more. That's not bad though. I kind of like the way these two mixed right there. The blue going over the red right there. Because it kind of flattens it out, it has a flatness to it. Kind of reminds you of, way water is. So it can work. A little lighter back there, but then just a little bit more up top. What a mess. Okay. Got nothing in between these trees here, so definitely gotta tone those guys down because definitely don't want that too strong there. All right, we wiped out all the white. You're in good hands. Gonna race out where that little snow spot is right here. This one too. This one goes in right there. Okay. Gonna work. I still have the bristle out. Get these greens a little stronger now. The green oranges for the trees back in here. And since I already have all this color in here, these guys should, hit and kind of be pretty good. Okay. So it's good to get everything, in the back and everything underneath behind there, kind of done and consistent. So when you do start putting in trees like this, you don't have to, you can just lay them in. And they should be really close to being right. And it should be nice and subtle too. So I am using a phthalo green and oxide red mix up here on the green side for these bottoms of these trees here. Let's see about putting a little bit of this into this tree trunk at the bottom, just trying to get some richness to make it pop a little bit right in there. So well, we're getting close now, almost to starting to add some white. Like I said, I always try to just keep away from the white as long as possible. In the painting, does it? Because as soon as you go white, you start to, you know, believe you're finished. So I'm going to start my lights again. Um, this is oxide red and blue. Just a little bit more white in it. I think this is going to give me that kind of a silvery feel back in here. So it's going to be a little bit of red plus blue together. It should start to shimmer like silver. Put we in with a bristle brush just to um, keep it soft, but we can get a little clumps of light brightness. Not quite as bright as I need it. Yeah, it's going to go a little bit more. Okay. Right now, I'm just testing out what these lights are doing here. If it should be this pink or should it be a warmer pink? White pinks here. That was a little warm. Let's try a little cooler. It really jumps. Just too much. So it would be on the probably on the warmer side. So it'd be cad red. And white. You might throw a little bit of alizarin in to it to gray it out. But give yourself a yeah. That's almost still too pink. What I'm gonna do is just throw some of that phthalo and alizarin together into this warm pink. It's closer. It's really close. You can stay on the pink side though. All right. I come down. I'm just going to twist my brush off at the end and then hit it with a nice movement. Just leave it really. Try to be ballsy when I put these guys in. So this color is cad red, white, a lot of white, and then just I took a little bit of our blue snow cover that's going to be coming in here, that with the phthalo and alizarin whites, and mix that in here. So it just kind of, made it a little grayed out, but it still has a coolness, a little bit of the shadows in it, but it still has a little bit of warmth into it, you know. So when you do back in here, basically if you just twist your brush a little bit, don't let it be, you know, too tied down to what's going on. Just sometimes you can just feel a better stroke coming out. Just you got to, play for the happy accidents. Okay, there we go. I think I'm going to try that color up front here. A lot of little blues it's going to mix up with. Just going to keep rolling my brush here. Mix up some more of that color. Oh, I was just trying to see how far I could get, as long as I got this in strongly, like it's put in like you mean it. That's the kind of strokes that just really hold the painting together. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put in some blue shadows. They're gonna go in here. That's the phthalo and alizarin, but added blue with a lot of white, but then added blue to it. Bringing it back in here for my mid-tones. Right about here, should start catching white and lightening up a little bit so I can not have to go too much farther. If nothing else, just twist your brush at the end. Big strokes. That's working out. Get the tell you, this color here was the main color in the snow, in the shadow areas, where I was thinking it was going to be end up being a lot more. There's going to be some phthalo going in here, but I think it's just going to be closer to this. Definitely want to get a few of this, little bit of this back by these trees, a couple spots. When I get down here too, I just want to make sure it's not too bright back in here too. Okay. Staying with the bristle. Looks like a bristle's the right brush for me at least. This is a phthalo alizarin, and on the phthalo side, tons of white, pretty bright. And I think it's just going to end up being, all the areas that I can hit a little bit of need light. Well, that was probably will need light in the shadow side. So, yeah. few spots and heading on up. Get some nice big squared up brush strokes. Can't see too much up there. Okay. Got a really good solid block in. Gonna need to definitely needs some work yet. But I'm gonna start on some of these lighter areas or a little more details. See how many I can get in before class. Gonna work on the this guy here a little bit. He's really pink. He has a lot of white in him. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use that Cad Red and Phthalo Green mix, mostly Cad Red and lots more Cad Red than anything else, and white, all the way down with white. But then gray in some of this purple, grayed out purple is of alizarin and Phthalo Green into it. And I think that should, lay on top here. See, I'm putting it in with too soft a brush. So it's just not going in here right. Going in too nice. Brush too soft. Let's try a bristle. Stiff. That was a synthetic, but it was just a little wimpy. It could have been like too much oil. Maybe just a touch. Yeah, it's better. End up having to go with oxide red and blue for coming back and putting some shadow underneath it. And then on top of it, probably those two again. Then I can go to a little bit better brush. Now I'm just going to put in a little bit of the snow. Well, I've got a big snow thing right there. Okay. So I got some rocks back in here I haven't put in. Basically, I'm going to have to figure out the shadow first. Very dark and warm. So I might go a little bit of alizarin and phthalo green and then add just a little bit of warmth to it. It's almost too light. Oh, you guys are awful quiet tonight. I guess this one kept you busy. Right, still have you guys muted. Not everyone. Is going to go and just kind of, push a little bit back and forth along the highlights and the glares up here. Pretty much a slight angle to these twists by much. Yeah, I think the snow coming over the top will make a difference. On some of these rocks. Okay, I'm just gonna put in some of the bigger trees now and then leaning back here. And get in some of these other things. That's where it's gonna go, but right now it's going in very well. Okay. That's just a lot of little stuff to put in. That's about as far as I can go without getting in front of it now. I'm painting from the side pretty drastically tonight. But I'll show it to you guys and let's see what you guys have. But let's get going. All right. Oh, down here low, you can start to you see some of the transparencies are starting to happen. One of the things you got to watch is there's a combination of reflection and transparency and making sure the two work together right now. Right in there, it's a little blotchy. Works better up here with not too much going on. The snow side, you can definitely see the warmth starting to come in there. Just gotta, too many of the same size strokes. Push, that red changed a lot since I put it in there. It looked like it was dead. As soon as you start putting some greens around it and stuff, it starts to come to life. Purple trees, a little bit purple, not really. More grayed out. Okay. Who's gonna be the first victim? Let's see who we got here. Turn on your stuff, folks. Turn on your mics, turn on your things. Show me what you've been painting. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't. I don't know.
I'll go. Lisa,
Lisa, where
get it over with.
Wow, Lisa's right on top.
I know, I'm moving back. Hold on.
There she is. Hey, you were just out skiing, so this should be very familiar with you.
Yeah, we had plenty of snow.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Where'd you go?
Snowmass, which is outside of Aspen.
Okay. Beautiful. Great start, Lisa.
Hey.
Really, really great start on that water and things. They look really well designed. It looks nicely put together. Yeah, you're in good shape so far. I don't know, block it in, finish blocking it in, and then we can really.
Yeah, I'm behind.
But you're doing a great job. Just go at your pace. You're fine. I like the way you're putting in the trees. They feel, organized, nicely organized.
Yay. Okay.
Nicely the right spacing in between things. Things looks good. It looks really good. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, finish it up. Nice job.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Shar turned her stuff on. Shar.
Do you have my video? Because I'm not showing my videos on.
Yeah, I don't see your video showing up either.
Yeah.
It says it's on, but it's not showing.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've got the video on. So go to someone else and let me play with it and see if I can get it to work.
Okay. We will go to Kathleen.
Yeah, I almost lost you, but I got it back. Technical difficulties.
All right.
Wait.
Got Laura coming up, and then we got Mike, Sharon. Wow, who's this? Wait a second, who's this?
Kathleen.
No, this isn't Kathleen. Look at that. That's way too good.
Nice, Kathleen.
Kathleen, what the heck?
I thought it was a mess. But
You thought it was a mess?
yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a nice mess, though.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll keep working.
Well, at least from here, it looks really good. I would say, yeah, keep working on it. But, sometimes, don't work too much more in the water. That's the thing. The water is looking really good.
Really?
Yeah, from here. Yeah, it looks like,
Okay.
it looks pretty good. And this, just work on the shadow on the snow a little bit more. But, I like seeing the purple and I like seeing the greens come shooting through there a little bit. It adds a lot of life to the painting.
Yeah. I like the colors.
Yeah. And the reds back there are fine. Yeah, I think you're on your way. It's just finishing it up. Really,
Okay.
taking your time when you put in the trees to figure out, make sure you got the right spots, for
All
the
right.
trees and that they're not too centered. That's the thing about trees is like, yeah, you put a group of trees together and you put one right in the middle and you go, if it was off, off to the side a little bit more instead of having, groups of trees that, something in the middle of anything. So I
Okay.
just watch that when you put them in.
Well, yours looks so hazy on the right side. And I was trying to do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I got to come back. I got a few strokes to put back in there.
No, it looked good. I like the haziness.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm done then. 50
Well, I
bucks.
was trying to,
50 bucks.
but it wasn't working out. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks.
Keep working at it. No, it looks good back there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Shar might have came back. Let's see what Shar came back.
Yeah.
There she is. Hey.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow. That's
nice.
really good trees. I love your trees. Really nice design on those trees and color. They look, very, very nice. Very nice. The pine trees.
I got paint on my face.
Oh,
Oh,
I
wow.
got an itch. I got an itch. Really good color. Your color's absolutely right on so far. I don't see anything. You've been taking good workshops. Because those that
Oh,
color,
I haven't painted for a while.
really.
Yeah, yeah. I've just been so busy. Yeah.
Well, it's soaking in. It's soaked in then. Yeah, when you get rid of the light the brightness of the snow a little bit more, but
Okay.
otherwise, everything else is right there. It looks gorgeous. Really great
Great.
job on the trees too. I'm like I don't see that. Like I mentioned that X little thing, a cross thing going on there. I don't see it. So you did a nice job of colors around it to really, negate that. Nice job though. Fabulous. Love I really like the way you designed the water too, going back that far. It has does have a nice design feel to it. Good job.
Okay, thanks.
No, thanks. Finish it. No, finish it. Laura, let's see what you got.
Okay.
Oh, look at those paints. Look at the beautiful colors. There we go. Oh, look at her. She's so quick. Just flips around and just wow, wow, wow. Okay. Look at that. Okay. You're under a warm light too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's getting it it's probably brightening up the yellows a little bit more than they are, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's definitely not that bright.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's why these are the lights are and stuff. Good. No. Design wise, it's good. It has just a little bit of glare on it, and so it's like there you go.
Let's see if I can turn some of these off. I don't know.
That's good. That's better. No, I mean it really, you have the design fabulously drawn in there. Really good. The reds are coming through back in the back. They're not jumping out too much, not pushing forward too much yet. Good. Even on, the stream looks really good. You haven't gotten all the paint in for the snow, right?
Not really.
You're really slow. What the heck happened? But otherwise, no, that's the main thing. Everything else looks really good, real nicely designed. I like the design again, so I mean, we all should have a good design. It's really, we shouldn't be able to mess this one up too much. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Finish it up, put it on the site. Okay. We have Sharon coming up.
Yeah.
Sharon, I almost got to, I was trying to get paid twice by you. I figure I should,
Well, for the trouble that I am.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. Sorry about that. I saw that and
It was probably the middle of the night. I have I wake up in the middle of the night and order things. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's the only time you can do your real shopping.
really.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, real good job on the water so far.
Yeah.
That's starting to feel really, really nice. And the log going across is good. Your colors are fabulous again. I really love the oranges back there against with the yellows and greens, and then
Okay.
the gray, really good, not muddy at all. Really good, clean colors back there. That's what you were looking for. Side of the hill looks good. The colors are working up. Might be able to go, value probably a little bit darker.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. I think the color of the snow, the light areas, I don't know if it looks like you got paint strokes in there.
Oh, well, I did for the first time.
I was gonna say you really caught up. You really did a great job, because I was gonna say those strokes those are some money strokes. Those are the ones you
Oh.
put in there at the end that really, say who you are and stuff and how aggressive you are. And they look very aggressive.
Well, I was determined to try to stroke with a little bit of confidence tonight, and it really made a difference.
I tell you, you can't miss. It was beautiful, nicely done.
Thank you.
They feel good. Congrats. All right, and then on to Mike. And then, did I miss anybody? We're gonna cancel that. Play spotlight with Mike. Okay, Mike, what do you got for us?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that's good. That's a good start. Colors, okay, getting again really good on your shadows, though. I think your shadows are right there. The blues and purples and the shadows look. A few places you're going to have to go darker, but overall, that tone's really good. Good, yeah. Color again on the stream's working out pretty good. I think you've still got a little bit of work yet to do on it. I think you could, and then, get the rocks in the stream.
Yeah.
Really nice though, Mike. I mean, the colors in the background. I watched that lime green a little bit back there. It looks a little lime green to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Just watch that. You might need to gray that out. But otherwise, I think everything else is looking really nice.
Yeah, it's coming. A lot of steps. Thanks for doing this one.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, you're welcome. See, he liked this one. Mike, he liked this one.
It is.
All right. I know he's hard to please. He's hard to please. Anyway, that was the first one. Next week we got a little more. It's there's a few horses, but it's one of those ones like give you a lot of indications. Some fence, some little kind of farm little thing. Well, I think you guys enjoyed it. It's a really pretty scene, but it's a little bit to going on. So that's it. You guys, any questions?
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Great class.
Oh, thanks. Great first class of the season. Check. All right. We'll see you guys. Finish them up, put them up on the site, and when we, I'll give you some more criticism, and then we'll see how things go, and so you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on down the road.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Great seeing everybody. Thanks.
Night.